Hi and welcome to the market alert for Wednesday, the 26th of August 2020. So yesterday the Nasdaq hit new record high as confidence crashes to 6-year lows. That was the news yesterday afternoon. We'll see that as we look at the trades from yesterday. But as it says here, this is madness, and too right it is. We are living in the twilight zone. Make no bones about that. Okay, so let's have a look at yesterday's trades. After recording the market alert, prices managed to trade above the 200 bar moving average, which is the black line. They were hit by some selling as prices moved higher. You can see all of the red there in an attempt to move higher, and eventually came back and closed below. So let's move on to the open. You can see their prices moving down. There's a bit of selling coming into the market there as prices attempt to get back above the 200 bar moving average, and then the market opens, prices move lower, and then all of a sudden, as we've got buying over to the left here, you can see it all there. You see the traders come in and drive prices straight back above the 200 bar moving average there. You can see it there with professional buying, and then prices continue to move up to the R1. I'm looking at the daily chart to see where prices are from the 2-minute chart in relation to the daily and where we could move to, so I can get a good idea of how I could optimize profits on a trade. We've got some potential weakness here. You can see the volume in this bar is massive at the R1 and also the psychological level there. And then prices, if we just fast forward through, continue to move higher for a while. Then we get resistance at 13,222, and they try and bounce off the BRN, but prices are now closing below the 5 bar moving average. They attempt to come back. We get this for a while, but then prices move to the downside there. You can see how they bounced off the 20 bar moving average, but unfortunately there is no support to follow through. And again, I'm looking to see where we are, and we're bang on the 89% in the daily chart, so I know we've got a major resistance area, and we then get a potential sell signal. The market moves lower. We've got the 200 bar moving average now on the downside as a potential support area, and you'll see prices stop at this and start to trade sideways. We've got the stop at break even, and I was hoping that on this bar here we'd actually move down to the BRN just to take a few more quid out, but that wasn't to be the case. Prices aren't closing back above the 5 bar moving average, but they are sitting on that 200 bar. So prices struggling to close below the 200 MA. The stop is at break even. You can see prices coming back to the scalp, then they continue lower, and then eventually, as in most cases, you'll get the green bar, and there's the green bar to show the pros taking profits out of the trade. So then prices do eventually break and move down to the BRN, and we get further buying support coming into the market, 2 lots of it there. This still doesn't hold the market as we head towards the high of the previous day. Like I say, this is a very important level, but once again you'll see prices coming off the low in this price bar with some buying in the smaller time frame, i.e. the 1-minute chart. So then prices trade sideways to higher. I'll just move on to the next signal, and here you can see that this trade was filled. Prices came back towards the stop. For one moment I thought it was going to be stopped out, and then we had 2 lots of buying here, which was encouraging, but notice how small the price bars have become, and also that we've got resistance here at the BRN. The volume increases, but not significantly. It needs to drive through to get anywhere near to the first profit target and also the 200 MA, and fails to do so. As you can see there, we have some selling coming into the market in the bar, reversing, closing back below the BRN there, and there's a slight increase in volume, but it looks like everybody's left, having traded the short, and eventually the market breaks the 20 bar moving average. It's already given a warning. We're closing below the 5 bar moving average twice, so the momentum has shifted from the upside towards the downside, and then it is stopped out, and prices have come off the 89 there as well in the daily chart and traded to the downside. So let's have a look at the afternoon. The market was sitting sideways, trying to hold. You can see the cluster of green inside the red there. However, the Dow open dropped 150 points, and eventually we see the DAX following and moving lower. We get a bit of a profit-taking bar here, and then prices reverse and continue lower. We then had the market trading sideways up at the 20 bar moving average. You can see how it stopped here, and then we've got the buying coming into the market again, and then of course we've got the news. So I'll just have a look at this before anything else, and if I can, there we go. So we've got consumer confidence. This is what it was reporting in the main headline. Dropped massively. You can see their forecast at 93, and the previous was 92, but it came out at 84. And prices then, as you'll see, followed the Dow and traded sideways to lower, and eventually down to the high, down to the BRN, through the BRN, and down towards the close, before prices actually bounced back, traded up to the 20 bar moving average, but then closed back below this. We then had a potential sell signal. We had to take out the high to move lower, and we had the BRN, which we did. We traded down to the scalp and eventually got to break even, and then all of a sudden again we see the buying back into the market, taking the profits on the short side, bringing the market back to the scalp area there. And then prices traded sideways in a range, but eventually, as the Dow continued lower, horrible choppy part of the session there, but eventually breaking the close and then finding support just at the close of trade there, coming back to the 20 bar moving average. So what's really good is that the volatility has picked up nicely, which is to be expected usually the week before the schools go back. Obviously it's slightly different this year with what's going on, but yeah, the volatility is definitely picked up there. Let's have a look at today's news before we look at anything else. We've got 3 lots, core durable goods for the US, all of it's for the US today. Durable goods orders and crude oil inventories all out today, so keep an eye on those as well. Let's have a look at the overnight for the DAX, see what's going on. Start off with the daily chart. So you can see yesterday the market came off at that 89, which we looked at in detail, and the moment the market is finding support at the 78% retracement from this high to this low measured back. Overnight prices, let's just drag this across and have a look, see what we've got. Prices obviously struggled at the DP level. They tried to hold at the 200 MA but then broke. So let's do the usual thing, have a look, see where we are, where we could go to when the market opens. So we're below the 200 MA and the DP, which we can see there. Eventually though, not so long ago at 6 a.m, prices have managed to trade back up above the 200 MA, failed at the DP and have failed at this BRN. So we know straight away we've got weakness in this area, but we've got a bit of support coming in at the moment at the 200 bar moving average as I record. So again, I'm more interested in seeing where we are and what we've got to the upside. Long way to go to the previous day, which is 130 points, and down to the low as well is from currently is 100 points to the downside there also. In the implied volatility, this has picked up from the 18.11 to 19.12. Not a great increase, but we are back at the 20-bar moving average for the implied volatility. A break above this will see more volatility increase in the DAX. Let's have a look at the US dollar. Still sideways, which is causing the silver price to also remain sideways as well. This is the daily chart. Prices are currently trading below the 20-bar moving average. As I said before, I'm looking at the 26 level, very important level in this market, as a potential entry point to add to the existing positions that I already have in this market. So again, we'll see. But at the moment, because the US dollar is sideways, so are silver prices, and some of the froth needs to come out after the last move, where we've had an 89% increase in prices. So it needs to breathe a bit before things can move there. And finally, in the Dow, and the weekly chart also struggling with the 89% there. Let's have a quick look at the daily chart. You can see prices yesterday, they moved higher in the pre-market, but when the cash market opened, they traded down to the back down to support at 28,155. Okay, I think that's it for this one. If there is anything else to report today, I'll let you know. But otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next